I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So I told you I'm coming with the part 2 of Rodney Hinton Jr. Basically murdered a cop. You know, after more research, after more indulging into the situation. You know, Rodney Hinton, as a father, he wasn't there for his son. Yeah. His son was in trouble, in and out the streets. Allegedly was in a stolen car, the car he exited out of to run away from the law. Yes, he did have a pistol on him, allegedly as well. You know, you got to throw that allegedly in there around yonder. Had a pistol on him as well, but at the end of the day, some may say, oh, it's the dad's fault. But even with his criminal background, him being in the streets, his dad failing him as a father, not being there. I mean, taking a life is definitely coming back being there, though. But some say, oh, what do you expect? Well, that doesn't give any cop the right to shoot an innocent person who is not trying to harm them, who is not putting them in danger. You know, it doesn't excuse the level of the hate crime, but at the end of the day, people are correct. The father was not there for him. Now, he was there for him in violence and anger and rage, but you must ask yourself, you know, why didn't the father try to keep him out the streets? What was the father at when he was riding these stolen cars, doing whatever he was doing in the streets, dog? Yeah, you can ask that question. You can ask that question. So Rodney Hinton Jr., some say he was a hypocrite. You know, some say he wants to get mad that his son got killed, but wasn't mad that his son was out there thugging and drugging and doing whatever, willing and dealing in the streets, putting his life in danger every day. Agreed upon. See, Rodney Hinton Jr., you know, what is his whole thing about the situation for his son? People say, oh, he didn't love his son. Well, I'll tell you right there, he may not show love the right way. But he definitely loved his son as far as getting revenge for him. Striking back when his son couldn't strike back. Wrongfully murdered, wrongfully shot. So we say different kinds of love, different actions with love, because a lot of parents will not step up and kill for their child. Nah. We've seen numerous situations, correct. Old kids killed unjustifiably, people killed, women killed. No one does nothing, the family does nothing. Oh yeah, they go on media, go on wax, they cry about it, march about it, beg, plead for justice, but never take justice in their own hands. So you can't say his father did that, went above and beyond, did that. He will spend the rest of his life in jail. He may be tormented, he may be tortured, bullied, etc. Who knows? But you can't say he showed no fear. And sad thing is, people will have to strike back at one point for it to really be a change. Because marching, talking, asking, being polite, crying, right, praying to them and asking them for help and this and that, obviously hasn't worked, right? But when bodies started dropping, murder started happening, then it's a different story. They started to look at it from a different angle. The sad thing about this, innocent cop loses his life. You know, that's the big thing about it. You know, when cops get killed, majority of the time, they don't get the person that committed the murder. They get a cop who was probably a good cop, probably had a family, probably really protecting and serve the community, correct? They never get the cop who did it or who committed the crime. That's my biggest issue, biggest pet peeve, correct? Now, a righteous kill is a righteous kill. And these cop shootings must stop, but not only the cop shooting, correct? Shootings worldwide, man. Shootings worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Shootings in the ghetto, shootings in the suburbs. You know, dirty cops, crooked cops. Their job is to protect and serve. Bottom line, dog. Heavy, man. But yeah, it's always the wrong cop that gets hit. Then the other one walks away scot-free or does time in jail and doesn't get touched, doesn't get approached. That's my main issue, man. You know, innocent cops getting killed, man. Cops that had nothing to do with it, getting their lives taken, right? Taken away from their families, period. Like I always say, respect to the good cops, fuck the bad cops. Point blank, period, homie. I stand on that 10 toes down. But the good cops are needed. The cops that protect and serve are needed. So Rodney Hinton Jr., I asked you, did he stand up? You know, did he do what he's supposed to do as a father? What would you have done? It's easy to look back and point the spotlight. Say this, say that, right? People saying this, saying that, but just imagine if you're not cowardly, somebody shoot your son innocently, cop or not a cop, regular person, civilian, criminal, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. Allergy season, baby, let's get it. Allergy season, let's get it. But let's say someone wants to kill your child. How would you react? How would you zone in? How would you step in? Would you react immediately? Would you want revenge? Would you want murder? You hear me, dog? Would you want murder? Huh. So people say, oh, he was a criminal like his son. He had no right to take that cop's life. Maybe not. Maybe not. But like I say, bad cops, it's a domino effect. You know? So instead of a corrupt cop getting hit, an innocent bystander gets hit, bruh. The same cycle. But when do they deal with it? Nip it in the bud from jump. Through background checks, right? Through research. Or a cop make one mistake, fire, get him up out of there. Huh? Cops get chances after chances after chances after chances. Never no accountability held. You know it's pick and choose. You know it's pick and choose. Ooh. Right? Just what it is. What it is, right? Pick and choose, man. Like I said the other day, right? This is more division. You know, more division seem like things they're trying to spark a certain war, a certain civil war. You know, with all this animosity, hate. Now you have cops versus civilians now. Everybody's tensed up, tension, right, around the world, right? Chaos, et cetera, et cetera. But how do you react? How do you maneuver through the chaos? In the chaos, are you of the world, in the world, in the world, or of the world? That's the big question, the big 411, the big scoop, correct? But just more division, just more distraction. It shouldn't be like that, right? Cops should feel safe protecting and serving their community. Civilians should feel safe, huh? Even as criminals, it's a certain level of, you know, dignity you must give, right? Respect, even to a criminal as being a cop. You know, you can't beat a guy, pumming a guy in the ground while you're taking him to jail, correct? Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, man. You know, he's supposed to get treated fairly, humanely. We love to throw that humanity word out there, right? Humanity word round yonder. Humanely. Motherfuckers are so inhumane, though. Understand? Who really acts humanly? You hear me? Who really acts humanly? That's the big question, right? Yeah, bro. But Rodney Hinton Jr. draws blood, sacrifices it, puts it on the line, put it all on the line. But I ask you, will it change anything? Will it do anything? You know, will it stop the cop killings? Definitely ain't gonna make the blacks come together for nothing, huh? Niggas, not no black niggas. I don't give a fuck. They don't care about no revolutionaries. Why the fuck they care about a nigga killing a cop, huh? Heavy, you hear me, dog? Believe that. Niggas still gonna kill and drill bills, yeah. Huh? Most will say, most will say, like I say, oh, he's not a hero. What did he do? Huh? He killed for his son that was being a criminal. His son didn't deserve to die though, right? Nah. Come on now, nah. So either way you look at it, it's, you know, sad situation. Condolences. Rest in peace to both, you know, both sides. Condolences to both sides. May they all find peace in this situation, you hear me? At the end of the day, this is Babylon. Stay aware, dog. Everybody's in their ego. Nothing will change until humanity escapes, evades its ego, their ego. This situation here, another prime example of someone in their ego, from the cop shooting the guy in his ego, thinking or saying that he had a gun, or just out of hate. Rodney Hinton Jr. in his ego, because at the end of the day, he should have been there with his son, keeping him out the streets firsthand. And this situation probably never would have happened. But you know how now society raise kids damn near nowadays, especially with the parents of today. Oh yeah, society, it's easy for society to grab the whole of them. Parents are dumb as well. Let's be real here. Let's be realistic. Let's be real, dog. So yes, Rodney Hinton Jr. should have been there in the first place, keeping his son out the street, dog. Period. Point blank. Period. You know? Yeah. It's what it is. Babylon, though, man. Stay aware. Hey, fire them comments up, like, comment, and subscribe. Support the channel, support the grind. Big warrior here, huh? Babylon, stay away. Yeah. Wicked.